Hey lovies! Welcome back to my channel. This is Lipstick Legion. So today I'm going to show you guys a quick tutorial on how I dye my canvases. I use canvas a lot in my projects for Lipstick Legion, and when I cut my templates I get a lot of these strands and long types of strips. So I'm going to be dyeing these because I'm going to be using them for packaging purposes for Lipstick Legion craft. So the things that you will need, and it's super simple, just you wait. I use Lindy's Magicals. So I work with a lot of green for my packaging for Lipstick Legion craft. And I love this green. It has gold in it. It's just one of the prettier magicals out there. And this is Ponderosa Pines Olive. It's so pretty. Okay, you will need a small dish. You will need a paintbrush with pretty stiff bristles. This is what I use to do that splattering technique. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I do that a lot. You'll need some alcohol ink, some gloves because tea and alcohol stained fingertips is just not cute. You're gonna need some scissors, and the last thing you'll need is some aluminum foil, so when we bake our canvas, our oven is nice and protected. So if you want to see how I do this, then keep on watching. So it is best to take your strips. It doesn't really matter how fat or long or small. Like I said, I use this for packaging purposes. So my items in my shop, once it's wrapped, can be many sizes. So it doesn't matter to me if it's long or short, just as long as I'm using up my scraps. So you want to take a piece like this and just cut your scraps into thinner strips so that way you get more out of your stash. Okay. And I've started already. Here's a long strip for something that maybe I want to wrap twice. Here is a shorter strip that's already kind of been tea dyed. You can see the difference here. Here's the strips that we just cut. Okay. So the next thing we have here is to put on our gloves, because we're going to begin the staining process. And I'm also going to preheat my oven, just right next to me. At 325. So what you want to do here is you want to take your aluminum foil or your pan and start placing your strips. Okay. I don't think we're gonna fit all of them in here today, so I'll just show you this pan's worth and you'll be able to gather what I'm doing and continue on by yourself. So we're gonna take some of the magicals, okay? And then first we're going to sprinkle it on straight onto the canvas dry, okay? I've seen a lot of people use Lindy's Magicals on wet paper. It gives cool results, but for how I do the canvas, I spray it on dry first and then I take a water bottle and spritz it. Okay, so I'm just gonna lightly tap Okay, you just want it to be even all over. And if you get a big cluster, don't worry about it. So I'll show you in a little bit. I actually do like to keep some of the powder still on the canvas instead of completely washing it out and making it more of like a watered down dye, because I just love when it's still powder form but yet baked into the canvas. It gives it looks just really, really pretty. And I will show you that in a minute or when we're done. So the next step to do is to take a water bottle and we're going to lightly spray over the canvas. Okay. So you want to start tilting it and add some more water. It's best to add water when you want more movement of the powder instead of oversaturating it, because then you won't have the distinction with colors and it'll just become one color, and that's when you start actually staining and dyeing the canvas. You want it more of splats of color. And if you oversaturate it, you can't go back. So it's better to just constantly wet it and then let it do its thing. And you can move, you just tilt the pan, it'll start moving for you, like you see here. Okay. I'm going to tilt it forward towards me. Come back around. Okay. I think that's good. Okay, so we can put them on top of each other. Just lay them on top, so that way the top can gather from the bottom. Okay. Some of the pieces will be dry, that's okay, and we just go back and add some more water. Okay, so here I want to show you how I still like the powder to be on the canvas. Okay, if you can see this, I just love that look. It's still on there and it hasn't completely melted away. It's very cool. So just go back and search for really big dry spots, like this one was folded. So we're going to take care of that now. Put some more. Okay, should be good. Take your spray bottle. There you go. Want it to drip a little bit. Okay. So now we're ready to do the second half, and it's just to splatter some dye onto our strips that we just dyed with the Lindy's. So this is just a really quick splatter just to give it some more oomph. Okay, so here we just take some water into our bowl, and I'm going to put this aside here so you can see. And I'm going to add the alcohol inks to it. 3 drops. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Move this over. So you take your paintbrush and the dye, and you can kind of see it swirling around in the water. You dip your paintbrush into the dye, and then you begin going over your strips. Okay, even if it just drops freely, let it do that. This is just for added color. That's the oven telling us it's ready for us to bake. And I'm loving this. It's looking like almost like a tie-dye, but just not as uniformed, you know. And this shouldn't be uniformed. Every strip should be different. You know, if you want to put some more Lindy's colors in, you absolutely could. You know, but it's all about experimenting with what you have. And one day I was like, hey, I have all of these strips of canvases. I should dye them and use them to gift wrap, you know, either things for a happy meal for people or my own items in my shop. And it came out very nice. So here I am showing you guys how to do it. So I think that's starting to look really nice. And then when it goes off to baking, it gives a different result, but I absolutely love this. So let's pop this one in the oven and I will be right back. Okay, so the strips are out of the oven. It took about 15 minutes. Let them cool, and this is what they came out like. So pretty. And see how we still have the powder and it's able to give it that little piece of glimmer. Love, love, love. And it's not overpowering the canvas, which I really like, and that's kind of why I like to sprinkle it on. Okay, so here I'm going to show you how I would use the strips for packaging. So here I have an order that's going out today from Lipstick Legion Craft. So I'll be wrapping it in one of the strips that we just did. Okay. Popping some Palo Santo in here. And it just gives it that really cool finish. And it's just a nice touch. I'm using my scraps, using very little bit of Lindy's, and you're able to make something nice with your packages. So when you add some crinkle to it, put that on top, it's just beautiful. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. And until next time, mwah.